As you grow in your career, you learn a lot of lessons, and sometimes you learn those lessons the hard way. And for those of you watching this, I hope that you don't have to learn too many lessons the hard way. And one of the hardest lessons I ever learned, especially when it comes to job searching, is you always have to keep your foot on the gas when you're looking for jobs. Whether you're unemployed and looking for jobs, or you are currently employed but are definitely looking to get out of your current position, you've got to keep your foot on the gas at all times. You can't let up. You can't let up until you are in that new position. Because until you're in that new position, anything, and I mean anything, can happen. I've heard plenty of horror stories from people over the course of my career, but this is my own story. It's not as bad as some, but it's worse than others. And I share this with you as a cautionary tale so that you won't make the same mistake. So I don't remember how long ago it was, but I was looking for work. I actually was out of work after being laid off, and had applied for a job with a large consulting company doing negotiated incentives. And I had sent my resume in, and it was one of those rare situations where I sent my resume in for a position, and I got a call within a day or two from this woman who was the head hiring person at the firm, or she was like at the very top with a couple other people, and she loved my resume, and her and I had this great conversation, and we talked and talked and talked, and we laughed, and it was just, I was like, oh man, this conversation just went so well. And so she immediately connected me with someone else who I'd be working with on the team. Wasn't going to be my direct supervisor, but was going to be like a dotted line. Met with this gentleman. Great conversation. It was awesome. Things went great. And then they're like, Andrew, we really like you. We totally want to bring you on board. Our firm is currently having this conference down. I think it was in Tampa, Orlando, one of those places in Florida. So they're going to be down there next week. We're going to fly you down there so you can just meet with like 8 people. It'll be relatively informal. It'll still be a bit of an interview, but it'll be relatively informal. That way you can meet everyone who's going to be down there, and that's pretty much just an informal step. And then once you meet with them, we'll talk, and then we'll put together an offer letter, and we'll get you in here, and we'll have you in here within the next, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 weeks after that. So we're looking maybe a month and a half. I was excited. I'd been looking for a long time. It also was cold, so I was looking forward to going to Tampa. Went down there and met with, I think it was 7 or 8 individuals. Again, great conversations, really positive. Everyone seemed great. I really got a lot of great feedback. Everyone seemed to enjoy my conversations and my expertise and my outlook and philosophy on doing that type of work I was doing. And it was great. I came away feeling great. And at this point, I had let up. I had stopped applying for jobs 'cause I just felt like this was in the bag. I was told it was in the bag. So I kind of stopped applying for jobs. I stopped looking for jobs. I started trying to, enjoy my time, my downtime that I had left, because I thought I was going to be working again pretty soon, and stopped applying. And then, a week went by and I didn't hear from anybody. And then the following week, I talked to the woman that I talked with initially, and she's like, "Oh, yep, we're just putting the final touches on the offer letter." And then I got to get approved by, the managing director, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll send it to you, hopefully we'll have it by the end of the week. If not, the next following Monday. Friday came and went, no update. I had called on late Friday, no response. Monday, nothing came. I still did not. I was like, okay, I started to get a little bit nervous, but I'm like, they told me they're going to hire me. I just got to wait it out. I was trying to be patient and not be freaking out about things. And I wasn't applying for jobs. And I don't know, another week or two went by, and so now we're talking like this maybe is a 5, 6, 7 week length in process here, and probably at least 5 of those weeks I hadn't been applying for jobs, and then I pretty much get ghosted, and then like 2 weeks later, I get just that, the email you get, "We're so sorry, we've decided to hire someone else for the position," which was a lie. They didn't hire anyone for the position, but and I was pretty devastated, right? Because I thought, my wife and I were excited. We weren't gonna have to relocate. I found a great job. I might have to travel a little bit. I didn't get it, and it was soul crushing. But worse than that was the fact that all the momentum I had been building in my job search had halted. It just had come to a complete halt, a complete stop. And so I still had some stale job applications out there that I hadn't heard from. But now those applications were, some of them 10 weeks old, some of them 4 or 5 months old. And so the chances I was going to hear back from them were slim to none. Meanwhile, I had not been applying to any jobs that had been coming up. And so I kind of had to start all over and build up all that momentum all over again. And it took me, I don't remember for sure, but I think it took me like another 6 or 7 months before I found a job. And I think had I not let up on the gas during that 7 to 8 to 9 week window, whatever it was, I don't think it would have taken me that long. I don't know if it would have taken me 5 more months or 2 more months, but it definitely wouldn't have taken as long as it did to find my next opportunity, because that was such a bad mistake on my part of not, I mean, honestly, I still kick myself. Obviously, I still kick myself for doing that. But so my message to you, if you're out there looking for a job, whether it's passively looking for a job, or you're out there hitting the pavement because you've been laid off, or you were terminated, or your company went under, I don't care how good it looks, how good of an interview you've had, how good of a series of interviews you've had. I don't care if they've offered you, if they say they're going to offer you the job. I don't even care if they've sent you the offer letter and you've signed the offer letter and you've sent it back. You can't stop. You can't stop until you are sitting in that chair your first day. Because until that time, I mean, anything can happen after that time, but definitely up until that time, anything can happen. And I've heard people who got the offer letter signed and they went to negotiate a good package for themselves. And then between the time that it was countersigned and the time that it was their first day, the offer was pulled. And you have no control over that. An offer letter isn't a legal binding document. You can't sue them over it in most cases. So if you are out there looking, I don't care how great interviews have gone, how close you feel like you are to getting an offer, or how close you are to starting a new job, you got to keep looking, you got to keep applying, you got to keep getting out there and put your foot on the gas. You put that pedal all the way to the floor, and you don't stop until you get that next job. So with that, I'm signing off. I'll catch you later.